recording. Hi, welcome to the Coach Collective, guys. Sorry, I just had like a few sips of wine. I hope you guys are having an awesome night. There's a few people who couldn't make it. Totally cool. We are recording now, so you guys can check this out whenever. Keep it as a reference. But I'm going to share my screen right now. Share screen. Just let me know if you can see everything. Here we are. It's not like a presentation thing, not like we're in school or anything, but just a few slides that I have on here. Can we do it? Yay, there we go. Okay. So welcome again. Thank you for taking time out of your personal life, your day, to check out what it is that we've really come together for, Tori and I, to talk to you guys about coaching and this opportunity, and talk about our stories and just really just have a chill night. Honestly, if you guys have a glass of wine right now, glass of water, whatever, take a sip because it's been a long day, right? So I wanted to go over a little bit of just a few pointers of how and why we got into coaching, how it's really like gave us our joy and gave us so much fulfillment and meaning in our lives. And perhaps it could be something for you, and maybe it is, maybe it isn't, but that's why we're here, right? So these are just a few things that we're going to be going over, and I just have like this slide and another slide, but Tori is going to come in and speak to you guys a little bit towards the end. So I'm going to go first, and then she's going to go next. So first things first, I'm going to be talking about my story and how I got into coaching, a few things about what we gained in coaching, and also some myth busters that we're going to go over and talk a little bit about fears. Be open to asking questions, please. That's why we're here, so you guys can come in to coaching confidently with the information that you need to make a decision. And yeah, we'll go ahead and start. So again, my name is Vilma. I have been a coach for 7 years. Oh my gosh, it was my 7th year on January 1st. So let's kind of backtrack. So I am from the Philippines. I came to America with my family, with my mom, really. It was just my mom, and she was pregnant with my brother. And we came to America with this notion of having the American dream, right? You go to school, you get good grades, you graduate high school, you go to college, and you get a really great job as like a doctor or a lawyer. You climb the corporate ladder if you're in corporate. For most Filipinos, you're probably a nurse. And for me, I didn't really know, like throughout practically my entire life until I was about 28, I didn't really know what I wanted to do with my life. But I do know that I wanted to help other people. I just had it in me. I'm like, you know what? I want to make some kind of impact. I do want to leave some kind of legacy. So I didn't really quite know what I wanted to do. That's why I had like 5 different majors in college, to be honest. But we're gonna get to the college part. But yeah, like throughout my entire life, I think ever since middle school, I've always struggled with depression. And I didn't know why. I wasn't really sure why I had like these feelings just spontaneously. And throughout my adult life, all the way until I was 27, I was an angry person to the core. And sometimes I would like lash out. Sometimes I would be rageful. And a lot of it also has to do with kind of the environment that I was in. Granted, I'm so grateful for my family. I love, love, love them. They have been the most supportive people in my life. But granted, there were challenges. My mom was a single mom working 3 jobs. She was barely home. We were raised by my grandmother. And I was always taking care of my little brother. So I felt like there's a lot of huge responsibilities, even from when I was 5 years old. And I came here when we were 4. But, you know, getting into relationships and having trouble with friendships, like I don't think I've really have, I didn't ever really have like long-term friendships. I'd never had like a long-term relationship before Devin, who I eventually married. So I was always trying to figure out why, and I couldn't understand why. So that also made me very unhappy. And later on, you know, when I finally got into college, like I said, I didn't know I didn't know what I wanted to do, but I was told, okay, well, why don't you be a nurse, or why don't you be something in the medical field? And yeah, so I finished school within 5 years. I actually did not want to go to nursing. I had my first year going towards nursing, and I was like, oh no, I don't want to nurse. Um, so I ended up getting my bachelor's degree in business. And I'm sorry, my bachelor's degree in mass communication, because eventually I was like, you know what, I'll become a lawyer because I can win arguments. um, so, so I was like, you know what, let's try the LSAT. And I actually got my, what did I get? Yeah, I was working towards my BA also. And I was also going to school for accounting again. So in total, I was in college for like 10 years. That's how indecisive I was. I just didn't know what I wanted to do. I ended up taking the LSATs. I've eventually went to work for the bank, and I was working in legal operations, and I was jumping from, after a few years, I was jumping from department to department. I'm like, wow, I can really climb the corporate ladder. But working with other lawyers all over the US really made me feel such high anxiety because of the lifestyle that they were leading and the kind of behavior and attitude some of them really portrayed with me, because I was dealing with legal stuff from practically all over the nation, like literally. So I told myself, I took the LSATs, I got a 150 on the LSATs, and I was like, I don't want to go to law school. So I ended up staying still with the bank, but in a different department. And um, eventually, I guess the corporate life that I dreamt of was, you know, the corporate life that you see in the movies. Like, you know, the woman, she climbs corporate ladder and everything's really cool at the end. But now, like, for me, that wasn't how it was in real life. Um, I went to a private college or a private university. So I was in debt to my eyeballs. And some of you on this call will understand that. So, and it was nerve-wracking. I was in debt. I was 20, I was 24. I was in debt up to $100,000. Okay, which 80,000 of it went to school loans, and the other 20,000 was from credit cards. And I literally was not able to really pay anything except for bills. And I was like trying to survive on peanut butter and jelly sandwiches, bread and butter, like literally bread and butter. That's what I would eat sometimes. And I would pay my mom rent whenever I could, and the car. So it was a struggle, because you have these loans that you're paying off every single month. And I'm struggling mentally too. I have, like, you know, my mental struggles. I'm going out 4 or 5 times a week almost. That's crazy, right? 4 or 5 times a week. I remember doing that an entire summer of that. still going to school and still going to work. So you could just imagine how exhausted I was. But I was like, oh, yeah, let's party, and kind of like masking what what really was going on inside. So like um I was going through a lot of emotional things too. I had a lot of toxic friendships, a lot. And I couldn't hold a relationship to hold my life. Like, I don't think I had a relationship that lasted more than a year with a guy. And I really had to figure out what was going on until, you know, I met this guy who I was dating off and on for 4 years. And eventually it got so bad. Um, the relationship was so bad, and I tied my emotions and my feelings to him. I was depending on him emotionally, that um, I basically lost myself. Like, I had no idea who I was anymore. I was in these toxic friendships. I was going out, I was partying, I was working, and I was going crazy over this guy, right? I don't know if some of you guys can relate to that. um, but you guys know how it feels when you're kind of just like being manipulated, or you know, you're with a narcissist and you don't know how to get out of that hole. So at the time, you know, it was just all that. Plus, I was paying bills and I was broke, absolutely broke. So one day I'm sitting at my desk and I'm trying to answer this angry email from my boyfriend at the time, who's sending me emails from his job to my job, just insane. Um, and I'm watching this light flicker in my office. And I'm like, there's no daylight. And I'm starting to like really hyperventilate and I couldn't breathe. And I felt like I was like trying to yell help and no one could hear me. So I was hyperventilating. I was having a nervous breakdown. And finally, I went to my supervisor's desk and I was like, I have to go. I have to get out of here. And and she was like, okay, well, take the rest of the day off. Are you okay? I'm like, I'm fine. I just need to go. Like, I thought I needed to literally go to the hospital. And so I get home and I take out a bottle of vodka and I take these sleeping pills and I'm like, I just want to go to sleep. I just want to go to sleep. So ultimately, I didn't take more than a few pills, or I didn't take a few pills. I took half the bottle. I downed it with alcohol. So next thing I know, I wake up in the hospital. The cops had taken me to the ambulance and I passed out in the ambulance. They took me to the hospital and they told me, your friend Brenda said that you were calling her crying and she couldn't hear you, and she called us to come get you. And I'm like, okay. So I just want to put you in a mindset perspective of where I am right now. As they're telling me this, I'm telling myself that I have a final tomorrow. That's how much my mental health was a priority to me. I was thinking of my final for tomorrow. I'm like, I didn't even really care what was going on with me at that moment. I'm like, I need to study for my final tomorrow. And they're like, well, you can't get out of here. You're being Baker acted. And if you don't know what Baker acted means, basically they strip you of your rights. They take your phone and you're not able to call anybody, and they watch you like a hawk 24 hours a day for 3 days to make sure you are not harmful to yourself and you are not harming anyone else. So that, of course, is a shock to me because I'm there for 3 days. I have a final the next day. That's what I'm thinking about. So to me, and what I did actually skip and didn't tell you guys is throughout all this for the past like 2-3 years off and on with my boyfriend, I had found out that he cheated on me with 5 other girls. And he basically said it was my fault and he doesn't care if I go kill myself. And that was my mindset when I did have the vodka and the pills, because I just wanted to go to sleep. So that was my deepest hole I've ever dug myself in. So for 3 days, I'm stripped of anything. I'm not able to call anybody. And at this point, my family's freaking out because they saw an ambulance, come to the house, and that's it. Nobody was home, but as they were getting to the house, they saw an ambulance taking me away. And of course, they can't see me because I'm bankrupted. So my mom's freaking out. And at this point, everyone thinks I'm crazy. Everyone thinks I'm nuts. So I had a psych eval, and they said I have something called PMDD, which is premenstrual dysphoric disorder. If you guys don't know what that is. I'm not going to go deep into it right now, but PMDD basically was the cause of my depression. And I don't like to put anything on my PMDD. I don't like to make excuses for my PMDD. And that's what I was telling myself in the hospital when they evaluated me. I was telling myself, I don't want to be labeled as anything, and I'm not going to make any excuses. I will own it. I'll own the fact that I do have whatever disorder this is, and I'm going to get better. But this is the problem with the disorder. Nobody knew what it was. Nobody knows what PMDD was. Not really my doctor. Like, they didn't know how to help me. They just wanted to give me a whole bunch of pills. And they told me to give them a call a few days after I got out of the hospital. And I did, and they never called me back. And, nobody knew what it was. None of my friends knew what it was. And I didn't want to really tell too many people because judgment, people would think that I'm crazy for almost trying to commit suicide. So I am a suicide survivor from PMDD. But this is the other thing about it. That diagnosis actually pushed me to take action, because I told myself, I cannot keep doing this. I can't keep doing this any longer. I need to change my life. So ultimately, one day I'm at home after I got out of being Baker acted, and I'm just scrolling through Facebook, and I'm looking at all my friends from high school making it, and they're happy, and everything's going perfect for them, and I'm here just getting out of the hospital. And I'm scrolling through Facebook, and I see her. I see my coach, who is now my coach, Colleen, and she's looking for people to join her team. I'm thinking, because she's looking for coaches, and I'm like, oh, personal training, great. You know what? I am probably gonna do like a revenge body thing, because I just broke up with my boyfriend, getting out of the hospital. I don't want to lose 10 pounds from being at the office, sitting all day over there and eating away. I want to feel good. I just want to feel good. So I filled out the application that she had, and she gave me a call. So she's explaining to me what coaching is. And it's not personal training. I'm like, okay, so it's not personal training, because I thought, maybe I can learn a few things. Plus, I can train other people, and I can help create an income so I can pay off some of my loans. Not the case. That it's not personal training. So when she explained to me coaching, I was like, okay, this is a total scheme. This is whatever it is a pyramid scheme. I've tried this before. I don't want to do it. No, thank you. And she's like, well, just think about it. And she told me what an actual pyramid scheme is. And that's why we're going over Mythbusters later on. But when she had told me, it kind of like locked in my head. I'm like, all right, I'll consider it, and what do you do when you're curious about something? You go and stalk their page. We didn't have Instagram back then. Well, we did. It just wasn't very popular, what it is now. But I went on her Facebook and I totally stalked her page. And she's a lot like me, except she got fired from her corporate job. And she was left with nothing. She went into coaching without any kind of job. So I was like, wow, she worked in a corporate setting and she was also in her hole, and now she's coaching full time. That's great. And I could see like the happiness on her face, her energy, everything. Like, and she made coaching her full time. And she had this community of like badass women. Like, I want to be part of that. So she had these pictures of like traveling and everything. I'm like, okay, you know, why not? Why not try coaching? She told me I have 30 days, you know, money back guarantee. If I don't like it, if I, you know, take all the supplements and I don't like it, fine. I can return it even if I do get results. That's what she told me on the phone call. So I was dodging her calls for like 2 weeks. And then finally, I remember December 31st, I was with Dana, December 31st, 2014, and we prayed for an awesome 2015 where we would find the man of our dreams, where we would just have an awesome life ahead, right? I remember making that, and Dana's on here too, so she remembers. I remember making that prayer to God with her. So on January 1st, even though Colleen was following up with me and following up and following up and following up, she stuck in my head, and I finally said, you know what, let me call this girl back. I want to try it out. January 1st was my start date for coaching 7 years ago. So now as a coach, I would say it was like probably just 2 weeks in, I finally got, you know, all my stuff. And I got my my superfoods. I'd gotten the fitness program. Mind you guys, it was DVDs back then. We did not have we did not have the library where you can stream everything now. Like, we had DVDs, and for one program, only one. Like, you pay for Netflix, you have like thousands of movies. It's the same thing with what we have now with Beachbody On Demand. This is part of what we're gaining. Beachbody On Demand, you have a whole library of different kind of workouts for an entire year. Back then, we paid for one program. One program, and it didn't come with a meal plan, and it did not come with the portion controls containers. It didn't come with any equipment, the stuff that you'd be getting now for the same price, which is amazing. So you guys are lucky. So
hey, Filma.
Yeah.
I hate to interrupt you. I think we have a few people in the waiting room. I've gotten a couple messages.
Oh my God.
I'm so sorry.
For real? Stop here. How do I do this? My bad. Oh my gosh. How long have they been there?
She's been trying to get him for just a little bit. It's not a big deal, though. I told her, I was like, we'll work on it. I just didn't want to interrupt you. I'm so sorry. I should have asked you to make me a co-host. Can you make me a co-host really fast, just in case?
I don't see anybody waiting.
Okay. Do you want to make me a co-host really fast?
There.
Okay, cool. Sorry. I'm so sorry to interrupt you.
No. If you wouldn't have told me, I wouldn't have known.
Okay, I'm so sorry. I'll let you get back to it. I'm going to mute, and then I'll admit people who try to hop back on, and I'll message them.
I'm so sorry. I didn't even check the chat.
No worries. No worries.
Sorry.
You're rocking it.
No, it's all right. Tell me if any, like, interrupt me if anything, please. Because sometimes I get like so into it. I have passion sweats right now. Sorry. Please tell them I apologize, and if you can please get them in. Okay, I'm sorry, what was I saying? Okay, so part of the things that you're going to be gaining Um, you're going to be gaining that kind of library that I was talking about before, but we'll get into that a little bit more a little later. But what I had noticed is the first week, it was the first 5 days, and I told myself I didn't want to look at the scale when I entered her challenge. It was like the 21 day fix. It was 21 days, 30 minutes a day, and that's what I was doing, 30 minutes a day. It came with like the original meal plan. It didn't have the meal plan we had now, but she when she had put me in there and I did it for the first week, I had lost 6 pounds in 5 days, which is amazing because I've never lost any weight before in my life, like ever. And I used to go to the gym too. I was going to the gym 3-4 times a week for 2 to 3 hours a day. It's ridiculous. And I was getting results that I've never gotten before in under 30 minutes. So I'm thinking to myself, like, what? Wow, this is pretty post worthy. So of course I get super excited. And on Facebook, because we didn't have Instagram back then, I was like, I gotta post this on Facebook because what do? Whenever something's post worthy, you post it on Facebook, right? So I ended up kind of posting that I was a coach, and even though I didn't know what I was doing, I followed the program to the T, which was the easiest thing that I could do. And I lost 6 pounds in 5 days. And before I know it, I was getting messages. People were asking me for help. And in this challenge group, we had this awesome community of women, like people that just started out with me. And so we're like pushing each other and we're talking to each other like every single day, and we're all amped and fired up. So the community aspect of it to me was like, wow, I've never really had that. Like I've never really had friends that would push me and challenge me and have goals and stuff like that. So it was really cool to see that when I first came in. Before I know it, people wanted to have the same results. People wanted to join me and to join in the challenge. And before I knew it, they were starting their own journey. And not only that, but I didn't even feel like it was coaching. It came so naturally. And even Colleen was like, or my coach said, congratulations, you just signed up 9 coaches and you didn't even know. I'm like, what? That's crazy. That's so crazy because we didn't have the preferred customer program that we have now, but I was able to sign my friends up as discount coaches so they can get the 25% off like me. And and I was able to pay back my investment in this, which was $140. So with the $140, I was, like I said, I was getting the fitness, I was getting the accountability, I got her support. We were working one-on-one coaching together, and I had lost a total of 14 pounds in a matter of 30 days, which was amazing. So in the time that I could get ready and go to the gym, which was like 30 minutes, I could have done a workout already. So that really like changed my time priorities too. So not only that, I didn't get into the actual coaching part of like the personal development part of it, like where you're developing as a coach, until like 6 months after my journey. I was really more of just like a challenger in her group as like a discount coach. But then when I started helping these other people, I was like, I want to keep doing this. I'm like, I can help other women and make an impact and still create a foundation and build a legacy, doing something meaningful, doing meaningful work with this kind of platform. And they made it so easy because everything was kind of made for you already. All you have to really do is help other women start their journey and hold them accountable. And I was like, that's amazing. And it was life changing. And let me tell you, I'm not the one to read books. I hated textbooks in school. I always have. But when it came to anything personal development, I loved it. I fell in love with learning and continuing to learn. And it was stuff that I was learning that I cared about, not like pre-algebra. No offense to any pre-algebra lovers out there. But yeah, that was it for me. And from then on, even like meeting Devin and him becoming my husband now, he eventually had become a coach too. But even him, I found myself opening up to other opportunities of friendships and relationships and getting closer with those that matter to me and leaving the toxicity behind. So I ultimately changed my environment. And because I changed my environment, my PMDD did not thrive. So for a lot of women who do have PMDD, a key thing for them would be like a really great lifestyle change like I did. But me using coaching as kind of like an escape from my own problems and helping other people, it kind of just, it magnified more opportunities in my life. It ultimately opened up other opportunities that were meant for me in a very good way, and not like toxicity and all the bad stuff. Tori? Hi, Sammy. I'm so sorry, Sammy, if you're waiting and I didn't get to like add you in.
No, that's okay.
So yeah, that really is my story for coaching. As you can see, it's not even just changed my life in one way, it's changed my life in different ways. And also, like, it's, if you want to, if I can take you through like a short timeline, I had left coaching, or I'm sorry, I left my corporate job when I was able to, 11 months into the business and 11 months into coaching. So that was in my first year. And then amazingly, I was able to actually travel and have travel opportunities with it. So we were able, just for helping people, 3 to 5 people a month, Beachbody invited us to take vacations and you know, they paid for it. So they paid for me and they paid for my husband, or my fiance at the time, which was very special to me. Like, I was able to take this vacation for free, you know? And we were able to go to like Punta Cana, Dominican Republic. We were able to go to New Mexico, Jamaica. We were able to go to Nashville for our first summit. We were able to travel. Like, my jobs never have taken me anywhere, no matter how well I did. And the ultimate experience that I had was when my brother had cancer. My brother had cancer like right after I got, or left corporate, sorry. Right after I left corporate, he had been diagnosed with cancer, where I was able to live in England for 6 months and still take care of him and still coach overseas. So coaching has really paid back for me in my life. And even when I was working as a nanny, I decided to take a side job as a nanny, and I was working for my husband's real estate firm, and I was doing social media for them. I was able to take coaching with me too. So as you can see, it's been a huge part of my life, huge part. And coaching's been like responsible really for a lot of the achievements that I've had. So I just want to get into real quick, because I think I like totally went overboard with my story. I want to get into the things that you're going to be gaining. So first things first, like I said before, you're going to be gaining the ultimate pathway to your health and fitness. First of all, you're going to be getting an entire library of workouts, not like us when we got DVDs, but this time you're going to be getting an entire library of workouts. All right, everything from boxing to lifting to cardio, Pilates, cycling now. We even have cycling, which is kind of fun. This is the bike that I have. We're actually selling the mixed bike as well. Okay, and it's part of our newest program called Job One. So you'll be getting that. And basically the health and fitness roadmap that we have you guys in, it's like a vehicle. It's super easy to follow, and it's structured. It's also going to be coming with the meal plans. So it's like your full essential solution for your goals. So the meal plans, there's two kinds. They're both effective. I've done both external kind of measurement and kind of like a mindset based program. These are something, these meal plans, this is something that you're going to be able to talk to with your coach. Okay, I actually use the portion control containers first and then the mindset based meal plan. But let me tell you, portion control containers changed my life because I didn't have to count macros and it was super easy. And that's what actually got me the results, not just the 30-minute workouts. So you'll also be getting a choice of 2 kinds of supplements, free, your first 30 days free. And then after that, you get 25% off of anything, any of our products. If you decide that like you've fallen in love with it. For me, the Superfood Shakeology was probably one of the best shakes I've ever had. Let me tell you, as a gym goer and someone who's worked in the gym 2 times in my life, it's probably one of the healthiest. It is probably the healthiest shake in the market. Because when you look at the ingredients, and this is where I became really holistic and very serious about what I was consuming food-wise. We have practically the cleanest products or cleanest ingredients in this product. Even the performance line that was created by Harvard scientists, which was, I thought was kind of cool. Even the beach bars that we have, the snack bars. But my favorite is actually Shakeology and the performance line. So you'll be getting that in your pack. Plus, you'll also be getting a bonus of the equipment right now. And Tori is going to talk a little bit about it too, Job One. But you'll also be getting the loops if you do decide, you know, when you talk to your coach about your goals, you'll be getting that piece of equipment too. Okay. And not only that, but you're gaining a freaking business. Whenever did you ever buy a product and it came with a business? Like, think about it. It's not a brick and mortar, but when you start this business, like there's no like back end stock that you have to worry about or anything. But you're basically starting a business for $140. It took McDonald's, what, 50,000 to set up for your first McDonald's or something like that. I don't know, 50,000, 100,000 now. You're paying 140. And the thing is, it's actually refundable if you don't like it. So even if you decide you don't want to be a coach, you still have this pathway of health and fitness that's going to be with you practically forever if you allow it. And also, you're gaining a community. So I can't even tell you how much this community has been with me throughout everything, throughout all my traumas, all my challenges, all my adversities. We've been together through so much. And the reason why we like to handpick our coaches is because we actually can. When was the last time at your job you're able to work with someone that you actually like? Like at my corporate job, there's not a lot of people that I like very much to work with. But I love that we can handpick people to be in our community. So hence, that's why you guys are on here, because we love you. Also, you get a training, you get social media training, and our social media training is amazing, and you get it for free. A lot of these masterclass stuff that you see on Instagram and stuff, you get it for free here from the most successful coaches and successful leaders that we have in our organization. And we are not shy on giving out information that's going to help you with your business. Also, we have our wellness pages. We do have the live accountability workouts. If you're in for that and you want to do live accountability, you need that like extra live person, adult, not just your kids. You know, you can have an adult with you and work out with them, even though they're like, I don't know, California, Virginia, Florida. We're international. We're international. So we have coaches in England, we have in France and Canada. I think soon we're going to be going to Latin America. So you have a huge community, lots of friends. We're basically professional friend makers, if you think about it. So another thing that I fell in love with is, again, the trips, which Tori is going to go over. And really, yeah, that's what I have for everything that you're going to be gaining. So ultimately, instead of feeling competitive, or instead of worrying that you're like having a bad friendship or something, you know, we're there to cheer you on. We're here for life. Okay, so that is it for what you're gonna gain. Okay, and we're gonna go over real quick on busting some myths. I'm trying to look for my paper on that. Okay, and then we're gonna give it all to Tori. Tori, I promise I'm gonna make it quick. Okay. Okay, so busting myths, busting myths. So this is a disclaimer. I need some more right now. Disclaimer. Basically, what's the disclaimer? Yeah, there you go. Beachbody does not guarantee any level of success or income. Basically, it's based on your own efforts, diligence, and skill. So basically, you have to work your ass off. Okay, this is not a get rich quick scheme. This is what the wine's doing to me. I apologize. So I mentioned this disclaimer because income is going to be, again, done by Tori, but I want to mention this because we're going to be talking a little bit about fears. So a lot of these myths have been brought up because, or have come to life, if we let it, because of fears. Fear of what our friends will think, fear of what our family will think, fear of failure, fear of doing the work. And these fears ultimately, they're creating lies. So the first fear, and I had mentioned this in my story, the fear for me, number one, was that it was a pyramid scheme. I was like, pyramid scheme, I've been there before, I'm good, right? But let me tell you the difference between a pyramid scheme and what it is that we actually do, which is an MLM. First off, if we were a scheme, we'd all be in jail. All 300,000 of us, right? 300,000 coaches would be in jail. So no, it's not a scheme. Basically, the fear is corporations started this kind of lie just so us, people who don't have huge businesses like they do, so we don't become successful in our own lives, right? Another thing about a pyramid scheme, there's no service or products, and it's illegal. That's one thing a lot of people don't know, is that it's illegal. Another thing is, so your sponsor in a pyramid scheme, you can actually surpass your sponsor you cannot surpass your sponsor in rank or in income in what we do, it's basically of helping people business. You can actually surpass your sponsor, your coach. So say for example, I sign up Dana and she works her butt off on, actually, nice butt. And she works so hard, she surpasses me in rank and in income. That is actually possible. I'm like, oh, I don't want to work anymore. She can still keep working and surpass me. Another thing is, and I want you to think about like an actual business, because this is a business that you do have to grow. It's not going to, happen overnight. So think of like, I don't know, it's a sales model like Verizon. If you sell a phone, that the money goes to the branch, and a portion of it goes to the manager, and of course a portion of it goes to the brand, right? To the company. It is exactly like that. It's just called something else. Okay. So that's when this is how my coach explained it to me. I was like, oh, okay, yeah, that's actually a good point. And actually there's other hidden little ways. So think of Target, for example. If Target was online and they say, oh, I love this shirt, and you buy this shirt, they get a commission for it. That's exactly what it is, except it's more in a health and fitness aspect. Another thing, another myth to bust is risk. So there really is no risk. The fear in this, basically loss of income. A lot of people think like, oh, I'm going to lose money if I invest in myself and invest in a business. Actually, that's not 100% true. We do have a 30-day money back guarantee, which if you were to do one of our 30-day programs or one of our 21-day programs, you get results even if you finish your supplement and you decide, oh, I don't want to do it. You can return your money. You can return the product back, money back guaranteed. Of course, we don't want you to do that. We want you to fall in love with the whole system and stick with us, Another thing about that too, about the money part, is actually it saved me in groceries. I don't know, like when people say it's going to cost more every single month, actually it would probably cost you less when it comes to your eating, because you're going to be eating differently. You're actually going to be saving money. And I went from a $700 grocery bill grocery and going out bill every single month to $400 for me and my husband. So, and it, adding on our supplements too. So you actually saved money. A lot of people say that out of fear that there's like a huge risk, but it's not. Another thing is time. The fear is you don't have enough time. Wrong, because Beyonce has 24 hours in a day too, and she's building her empire and raising her babies too, which means we can also, right? So the awesome thing about having a business online is that it's online and you're already online. So why not do something inspirational? Why not do something impactful if you're already doing, if you're already on the platform? It just makes sense, right? And you're already doing the things. You're already exercising. You're already eating. You're already posting. And you're already meeting friends and, stalking people's Instagram. You're already doing it. So why not make an income for yourself too and help other people, And that's how I was able to weave coaching into my life. Like when I was working my full-time job and going to school, I took like an hour, maybe 2 hours every single day to do my workout and take about an hour total throughout my day when I could find that little power pocket and send out a few messages and get people started within like 5 minutes. So that was a skill that I was building up, but I was weaving that throughout my lifestyle. Another thing is, another myth is being broke. I forgot to tell you guys, because my school loans when I was in the hospital my school loans deducted. While I was in the hospital, I became -7 in my account. So I was telling myself, well, I need to get money for this challenge. So what am I going to do? What are you going to do when you actually really want something? You do whatever you can to get it. So I sold a couch and a pair of shoes to make $140, and there you go. So broke is an excuse, guys. We're always going to be broke if you think that. The transition of the mindset and working on your personal development for how you see money and how you spend it, that's a skill, and that's something that we can build on to. Last but not least, finally, belief. The fear is you don't believe in yourself. And it happens. Sometimes we don't believe in ourselves, and we need someone to believe in you, but sometimes you don't have people that believe in you, right? When I was diagnosed with BMDD, nobody cared. Nobody knew. Nobody could do anything. But let me tell you, if you keep your goals and your health as a priority and keep it as your North Star, keep joy as your North Star, and keep chasing it and you keep finding it, you will even surpass belief and even surpass the fear and finally just start. All right. That was it for me.
I
Thank you so
love
much
it.
for letting me speak, guys. Does anyone have any questions?
Stay right there.
If not, totally cool. You can actually add it in the comments if you guys have any questions too. But now I can give the floor to Tori. Thank you, Tori.
I love your story, Filma. Seriously, your story, and both of our stories are so similar, yet we're also so different. Just so y'all know, this is the first call that I've done in quite a while, probably 9 months. So I had to go get me some wine for this because I was like, Wilma, see?
Okay, call me
go-
Wilma. I'll take it.
You've rubbed off on me. Shit.
Did you have too much wine already?
Yes, just a little bit. So here are my notes, just so you all know. I rushed to prepare, but that's okay because we're humans and we're busy. And a lot of us are moms who are at home trying to find something for us to do that makes us happy. Because I, just like Filma, was trying to find something that I wanted to do. Like, I wanted to help people. That's what I wanted to do. And let me tell you guys, I was a dreamer, like a huge dreamer. I don't know if I think we'll be good. I don't think anybody's going to hop on, but it should tell me if they do. But I was a huge dreamer, and I had so many things I wanted to do. I wanted to be a circus person. I wanted to run away with the circus as I was younger. I wanted to, oh my gosh, I wanted to be an astronaut. I wanted to be a surgeon so that I could save lives because I got too into a freaking Grey's Anatomy season. I was too into it. Sorry, I choked on my spit in the beginning. So, real human being here telling my story. Have to drink some water. It's just how it is, right? Like, we're real human beings, and that's how we portray ourselves on social media. Yeah, we talk about our journeys as coaches, but it's also important to be a real human. So, real human, drinking some water.
You wanted to be in the circus? That I've never heard that. That's awesome.
No, I really did. My dad joked about it with me one time. He was like, why don't you go join the circus? And I was like, you know what?
Fine.
Performing for people every single night? Hell yes. Traveling? Hell yes.
Good point.
So yeah. So our stories are really similar, yet so different. So I actually started as a coach, maybe 4 years ago now. And I was on the same organization and everything. I just didn't truly believe in it. It was more like I joined to make somebody else happy. I didn't join to make myself happy. I felt very, very pressured into it. And that's why as a coach, I don't pressure people into joining me. So just so you know, as a coach, a lot of people are like, oh, I don't want to be salesy and I don't want to be, inauthentic. You can totally do this in a very authentic way. You don't have to be salesy. You don't have to be pushy. You can help people change their lives in a very authentic way. So this is kind of tying into my story. I started with Beachbody probably 4 years ago for the very first time. I did it for probably 4 months. I did the 21-day fix. I lost 40 pounds. I have PCOS and endometriosis, just so y'all know, and I was drinking the shakes, which I didn't have money for any of it, but I needed to make a change in my life. I needed so badly to get my life together because I was a wild card. You never knew what I was going to do next. You never knew if I was going to drink and drive home or go out and party. Like, you didn't know what I was going to do. So my boss at the restaurant I actually still work at confronted me with this opportunity to join Beachbody. And I was like, I've done so many things, literally anything that you can think of. I have done it. I have done keto. I have gotten shots in my butt to lose weight. They're called lipo shots. I've taken phentermine. I have done literally everything. You message me and you say, have you tried these pills or these magic pills or potions or whatever? I have done it. Literally. My husband, when I told him boyfriend back then, when I told him I was joining Beachbody, he was like, oh, here we go again. Another, diet scam that I'm going to, help cheer you on for, but you're not going to stick with. And he was totally right, because my track record was horrible. I never stuck to anything. And, at 16 years old, I was diagnosed with PCOS. And then at 21, I was diagnosed with endometriosis through a laparoscopic procedure where they drilled 100 holes in each ovary. And back then I had no idea that it it affects your weight or your hormones or any of that. I had no idea. I didn't know anything about it. But my previous coach had showed me the opportunity, and I was like, I don't know. I've failed at everything I've ever done, but I joined, and there was an amazing community. And I did it. I showed up, I did the 21-day fix, and I lost probably 40 pounds, and I was rocking it. I was actually a coach, but I didn't actually really do the business for myself. I did the business more for her, because I was more of someone back then who wanted to be friends with everybody. I didn't believe in myself. I was very insecure. And I mean, the most insecure person you could ever meet. I was dealing with my anxiety. Oh no, I might have to swap over to my computer right here. But until then, we'll just stay on here. I struggled for so long with anxiety and depression and past traumas that I didn't actually deal with as a kid, that all just started hitting me. I was drinking a lot. I was partying a lot. And then, like I said, I did this opportunity and it changed my life. Little did I know, growing up, they told me that my chances of getting pregnant naturally were slim to none because of the fact that I had a double whammy. Oh, no worries, Filma. You go, girl. I totally get it. You're probably going to hear my kids screaming in the background anyway. And that's the thing. We're real human beings. We're real people, and that's okay. Because a lot of times you see on social media people who are like, my life is great. My life is grand. Everything's white and pristine. You look at my house is not white and pristine. My house is a real house that's lived in. And I love when you see social media people who share that. But one day I started having a lot of pain, and I was like, oh my gosh, my PCOS and my endometriosis symptoms are coming back, and I'm just everywhere. I went to the hospital and I was like, look, you need to schedule me for a surgery now. I'm not leaving the hospital without it. I've never been in this much pain. I can't even stand up and walk. They asked me in the hospital as I was getting checked in, could you possibly be pregnant? I said, nope, I'm infertile. Can't be possible. It's not a thing. And next thing you know, they send me to my hospital room and I'm sitting there. I'm hooked up to everything. I asked for pain meds. I was like, look, pain meds make me sick as hell. I don't care. Give them to me. 30 minutes later, the nurse pops her head in, says, did you know you're pregnant? Did not even come in to the room. Did not even try to like say like, hey, you know, just peeked her head in the door. And as somebody who never thought she could actually have kids, it was the best thing I ever heard, yet the scariest thing I ever heard, because they also told me that they thought I was having a miscarriage during that. So I was like, oh, wait, I get this great like news, yet it's also scary news because I don't even know if it's going to like happen. And my husband and I had never really actually talked about having kids. He like never wanted kids, and I did, but I didn't think it was possible. So I wanted my freedom and I didn't want to like really do that. And then we got this huge surprise, and it has completely changed our lives. But the only thing that I ever did different was showing up for myself and making myself healthy. And I know that this isn't like, you know, hey, do this, you're going to beat infertility kind of a thing. But this is just kind of part of my story. It's part of what helped me to get where I am. So after I found out I was pregnant, I was so scared to lose the baby every step of the way. I stuck with my shakes for a while, and then I, you know, canceled everything. I quit the business because, like I said, I wasn't all in with the business. I didn't really feel that great about myself because I was not doing the personal development aspect. And so I quit. And then about a year later, a week before quarantine hit, I was possibly the worst self I had ever been. I was drinking and driving. I was just not the best mom I could have been. I was so depressed. I couldn't grab myself off of the couch. I just wasn't a good version of myself. I was draining my bank account to go eat Mexican food down at the restaurant. I was going into the negative. Yes, girl, your girl loves some margaritas, okay? Which I sadly don't get to go have. I sadly don't get to go have them as often. Or actually, I don't think I've had a margarita since my new son was born. But still, I was a food addict who had lost control and lost herself in postpartum depression and postpartum anxiety, that I did not know who I was anymore. I had no idea who I was. I was struggling with, you know, the depression, the anxiety, and I had gained so much weight that I did not even look like myself anymore. My kid was in the pack and play for most of the first year of his life, just sitting there because I could not drag myself out of bed to take care of him. And after one really, really bad night of drinking, and I didn't have my son at home, my son was with my in-laws, and I went out and I drank with some friends. And like I said, I wasn't my best self. I was at the verge. I wanted to end it all. I did not want to continue on life. But my husband was like, you know, he talked me down. Anyways. And it's a whole thing. It's a whole thing, guys. I just was not the best version of myself, and I was wasting my life, and I wasn't happy. So March of 2020, I believe, 2020, the week before the nationwide quarantine happened, I did not have the money to join. I did a 1-week membership to start myself up. I signed myself up, and I did everything I could to sign myself up with the challenge pack because I knew that I wanted the supplements, and that the supplements had helped me so much before. So I dove all in. Yeah, I dove all in. And I started with 21 Day Fix. So I started on my 7-day trial, and I continued on. I did the containers because I had already had the containers. And I began to be the best version of myself. I saw myself changing, and I was the mom that I wanted to be. My son was having fun. We were doing things, and he actually was exercising with me. He loved to be a part of that. He loved to, like, you know, have his little weights or whatever. And fast forward, I jumped all into the coaching community. I literally, if y'all saw on the first slide earlier, my before picture was literally day one of me coaching. I was 215 pounds the day I started coaching. That was my day one photo I did not wait to change lives. I wanted to share my journey right out the bat. I didn't care what people thought, because here's the thing. My day one photo then was definitely not going to be me 6 months from now. You know why? Because I was going to change my life, and it was higher accountability. Coaching is that higher accountability for somebody who has never stuck with anything, for somebody who has struggled her whole life with her weight, and her family telling her that if she lost weight, she would just have the world at her fingertips, for somebody who had a food addiction and eating disorders, for starving herself and struggled with depression and anxiety for so long. I was that girl. But I changed my story. We are all in control of our own story. And we are also in control of sharing our story and changing lives, because there is somebody out there just like you who needs to hear your story. Why do they need to hear your story? Because there's so many people on social media who don't share stories that are raw and real. And that's why I always show up no matter what, raw and real. So anyways, I went all in with my business. I had signed up probably 12 people my first month and like 15 people my second month. I was hitting these insane goals that people don't actually hit. And I was all in. And this business is what saved me during the nationwide quarantine, because I was a server. I had bills to pay. I was also a stay-at-home mom, but I worked like 1 to 2 days a week. So I still consider myself a stay-at-home mom. And I was working my butt off, but my restaurants shut down. It was a nationwide quarantine. It was unprecedented. I had no idea, because I had never dealt with that before. So many people hadn't ever dealt with that before. Like, what the hell are you going to do? It's like, boom. Oh, hey, you can't go to work anymore. You can't support your family anymore. It was the most exciting time of my life, though. Why? Because during that quarantine, I truly found myself. And I really think it has a lot to do with coaching, because coaching is what kept me accountable. Coaching is what helped keep me pushing, because those paychecks during coaching that were, obviously off of my own effort are what helped me to survive during the pandemic. And that was a huge change for me. I became what we call a success starter. So in your first month, I think it's like within the first 6 months, for 3 months, they want you to sign up 3 people a month with challenge packs, which are $160 a year. It's the total solution pack that helps people, really take off and get running with their journeys. And signing up coaches and everything. I was a diamond coach within less than 2 months. Less than 2 months, I was a diamond coach, which is not something that's very heard of. So it was a huge goal that I had, and I went for it because I'm somebody who's super competitive. I wasn't competing with anybody but myself, because it's me versus me. And for somebody who has never stuck with anything, I'm somebody who's never been good at anything either. But play back to the beginning of somebody who has dreamt of being everything: a singer, songwriter, dancer, circus performer, freaking actress, surgeon, surgical tech, a cop. Guys, look, I went to school to be a cop for 2 semesters, and I got a damn tattoo because I'm that person. That is me. But nothing ever stuck because my heart wasn't truly in it. And so once I took off on this business and, I became a success starter, I got this amazing opportunity to do a running program. Sister Sue, let me tell you, I'm not a runner. I have never ran in my life unless it was after the ice cream truck, because I guarantee you that was me. Growing up as a kid, I was in the middle of softball games, and I would stop the entire softball game, say, time out, as I was up to bat, and I would chase after the ice cream truck, and all the kids would follow. True story, y'all. True story. So when I say chase after the ice cream truck, it's a real thing that happened, and I just have to share that story. So anyhow, it is it was just the best decision I ever made to become a coach. I was scared. I didn't have the money to join. I didn't have the money to continue on the shakes, but I said, you know what? I'm going to help people get started so that I can afford my shakes every month, so that I can afford my whatever you call it every month. And that's what I did. And then I became a success starter, and I got invited to the running program, the 30-day breakaway with the Dallas Velasquez. And that program truly changed my life. I actually have my own Beachbody commercial. I'm actually in several of the 30-day breakaway commercials. I am fangirling over myself here. But becoming a success starter is something that you really want to do. It's something that you really want to strive for, because you get invited to be the first person to try out these brand new programs, and you can be in the commercials, and it's so darn cool and so darn exciting. So yeah, I don't know. Coaching has just absolutely changed my life. And during my third round of the 30-day breakaway, I actually, injured my neck during a 5K. Like I said, I went from being the person who never ran, or even the person who ever worked out. Like, I did not like working out, like, whatsoever. I would skip PE in high school or growing up. To the person who was running 5Ks. I went and ran a 5K with my friend through hills. We live in Brown County, Indiana, which is a very hilly area. And I was used to running on the asphalt in front of my house back and forth because I had my youngin'. And I was too lazy to drive to a track because I'm not going to drive 15 minutes to go run. I'm just going to run in front of my damn house. And so I was running through the hills and I got a neck injury. It was a neck injury to my actual C5. So I went to go see a doctor, and they gave me all these medicines. They were like, hey, is it possible that you're pregnant? And I'm like, nah. So they prescribed me these medicines, and I was like, you know what? I should probably check. And so I did, while on Zoom, because that's a great thing, is the fact that, we have this community and we have these Zooms where we can hang out with each other all day. We can support each other. We can mom with each other. We can clean our houses together for accountability. And I was literally on Zoom with one of my coaches, and she was like, just go take a test, find out before you take your medicine. And I was like, okay, let me go do it. And so I did. And it actually turned out I was pregnant with my second miracle baby. Keep in mind, they told me that I would have to do medical intervention to have kids, which we weren't planning either one of our children. But I do want to say that both of our children came about while I was doing Beachbody, while I was at my best self, while I was doing all the things to take care of myself. So we did the impossible. And I worked out my entire pregnancy. I continued on my business, and I kept changing lives. And actually, I was somebody who had gestational diabetes my first pregnancy. And then because I was working out and eating healthier, I did not actually have it during my second pregnancy, which was like a shocker to me and my doctor. But I had lost a total of 85 pounds on Beachbody. So 40 pounds the first time, 45 pounds the second time. And I had no idea coming into all this that it would actually change my life. And that's why I'm so thankful for coaching, because honestly, I probably would have quit a long time ago had it not been for coaching, because coaching kept me accountable. Well, thanks, girl. Coaching kept me accountable, and coaching is what helped me keep going, because people were saying, thank you for sharing your story. Thank you for, doing you, because part of coaching is sharing your story raw and vulnerable and inspiring others to do exactly the same. Sorry, I'm looking at my notes here, but in my first year of coaching, I was invited to two different trips. And then 3 different trips. I was invited to the Success Club trip. Why can I not say success? I was invited to the Success Club trip for 2020 in Riviera Maya that unfortunately was canceled due to COVID, but they gave everybody vouchers. I actually did not take them up on that offer. I also was invited to Summit, was it the 2020 summit? The 2021. I was invited to Summit as a success starter, and I got my free ticket. And actually, so they've canceled it the past 2 years. So I got my ticket to go to St. Louis, Missouri in July of this year to actually be in my, actually, this will be my first in-person event. And I'm so excited. I don't know how I'm going to make it work with 2 kids. I don't know how I'm going to get to Summit, but I guarantee you my butt will be there because it's a free ticket and it's a 3-day event that's absolutely life-changing, and coaches come out of there completely different. So whatever I got to do, I'm going to St. Louis. I don't know. So I have also been invited to Punta Cana. And unfortunately, I did cancel that trip just because I did not want to get stuck in Punta Cana and be away from my kids for, 2 weeks or whatever if I had to quarantine. But it's so amazing because you have these opportunities outside of, unfortunately, the COVID world or anything, where you can travel, you can have these opportunities. And just because you're somebody who's new to this business does not mean that you couldn't be a top 10 coach. It all depends on your effort, your passion, and your results. Your job as a coach is to show up, take care of yourself, and exercise. I will say, I have a 7-month-old and a 3-year-old. 7 months postpartum, I thought I would be somewhere completely different than where I am now. I struggled with postpartum depression again for the second time, even though I had the tools to take care of it. It's just a matter of doing it. But remember, as a coach, you're still human. You're still going to fall down, and you're still going to have to work hard and make those strides, but it's okay to fall down, and it's okay to share your journey raw and real because people are still inspired by the fact that you're fighting back. So just because your journey may be a little rocky, keep going. Life happens. And yes, you may be sharing your life on social media, but you're not a freaking Barbie doll. And it's okay to share your story, and it's okay to be raw and real. And it's okay with the fact that I've gained 10 pounds this month. Although I am a coach, I've done it before, but I have health reasons as to why, like not sleeping at night, mom life, as well as sleep apnea that I was just diagnosed with. Whoop, whoop, loving it. But it's okay to be a real human and be a coach. You don't have to put on a front. You don't have to pretend to be something that you're not. Just be your raw and real self and share your journey, and you can change lives. Because I can tell you right now, a lot of this business is started on like sharing your journey and sending out invites to people who are interested in your story. But there's another way to do this as well. Like it's called attraction marketing. I'm at SC12. Every 2 people you sign up, you get so Success Club 2, Success Club 4, 8, 10, 12. I have not sent out a single invite this month. Not a single invite. And yet I'm at Success Club 12. I have completely redone the dynamic of my business and redone the dynamic of my life, and I have attracted people to me. Now, I'm not saying that doing this business, you're not going to have to send out invites, because obviously you are, especially if you're starting out. And there's nothing wrong with sending out invites. I'm kind of like breaking off into a whole tangent. Sorry, Filma. It just is pouring out of me. I don't know.
Do it, girl. Do it.
Anyways, there's no right or wrong way to do this business as long as you keep going and know what your goal is. You don't have to have a coach because, Sister Sue, this business is you. You're your own boss. Your success depends on you and all of that great stuff. Okay, let me look at this. So yeah, I worked out my entire pregnancy. I've been doing job 1, which is perfect for my busy mom lifestyle. I have 2 kids. I have a 3-year-old, a 3-year-old, and a 7-month-old. And so my life is super busy. Half the time, I don't know which way my brain is running because I can't keep track myself. My kids are wild. They're a lot of fun. I love them, but they're also overstimulating sometimes while running a business. And the thing is, I, try in power pockets to share my social media, try to work out, do all the things. And I will tell you, if you're a mom and you don't have Energize and you're about to sign up, get Energize because it is life changing and it's a lifesaver. You need it. Yes. So anyways, job one is 5 days a week, 20 minutes a day. And it's been absolutely life changing for me because right after having my son, I was like, you know what, I'm going to do 80-day obsession, a 1 hour workout with 2 kids. I got this, a newborn. I totally did not have that. I did it for the first like 3 weeks and then I was like, I can't do it. And it's not me. And not right now. Not right now. I love the programs. So yeah, a day in the life for me, ever changing. Like, I mean, so Phil had asked me, she was like, you know, share a day in your life. I don't have the perfect routine quite yet. I'm still working on it. My life has been crazy in the past year. I have dealt with loss. I've dealt with postpartum depression and food addiction again, and learning how to recombat it because you're pregnant. So you eat all the things, but then things change and you can't eat those cravings anymore if you have goals. So yeah, I kind of changed the way I was doing things again. And now I'm actually starting to really, really, really dive in and focus on myself and get my business back to where it's going. And guys, do you know my favorite part of coaching? My favorite part of coaching is getting that message from somebody that you met on the internet. Thank you for showing me these programs because you have changed my life. Thank you. I've had somebody who's lost 80 pounds, 100 pounds, and the messages that I get from them are absolutely amazing because even if I'm struggling on my journey, sometimes because there's going to be times where you struggle as a coach, as a customer, whatever you are, it's just part of life. Life has ups and downs. There's seasons in life, but you keep going, you get back up, you fall down 7 times, you get up 8. But you got to know your goal. So your goal is to change lives and to keep yourself accountable. So that's what I love about this is, staying accountable and changing lives and showing up for myself and others. And the community is amazing because there were so many times that it was so hard in this past year with 2 kids. I've never done anything like this before. It was so unexpected for me that coaching was definitely a grounding board for me. So a day in the life for me is kind of always different, but I work in power pockets. I get my exercise done when I can, whenever I feel like it fits in the best, because every day is different, but having a routine is definitely a good thing. I just personally am still working on it 7 months later after having my kid. Some people have their shit together right out the gate. It ain't me, sis. It ain't me. And that's okay because we're real humans, but we can still be a coach and help others get results. And we can still help others change their lives. So yeah, I've talked about the travel. I've talked about, kind of how it works as a success starter. For every person you sign up with a challenge pack, you get 2 Success Club points. Success Club is so exciting because you get all of these cool little gifts. I'm trying to see. Oh, there's one over there. I also have a neck injury still from previous. Oh, I was telling you all about it when I was pregnant. My neck is actually hurting right now. So I can't turn my neck that much, but there's a hat that I got last year. We also do these fun things called Team Cup as a coach. And you get all kinds of random little prizes. So Umwala, if anybody's doing 645, I had to shake it. I just had to. My son loves Umwala's little bobblehead. Also, they send out rewards and it's amazing. So my first year in coaching, I became a diamond coach within 2 months. It can happen. It all just depends on you and your effort. And like I said, you don't have to be salesy. You don't have to do any of that. You don't have to push this on people. Just share your journey and offer them the opportunity to change their lives. But I got this little trophy. The trophies are a little different now. I don't know, but so many, had it not been the COVID world that we're living in today, I would have already gone to Riviera Maya. I would have been in Punta Cana next month. I would have gone to St. Louis last summer and wherever we would gone next this summer, but I'm going to St. Louis this summer. I'm gonna make it happen. I'm throwing it out there. I have to be there. There's just so many amazing opportunities with this business. And one thing about me is I really started this business to make friends, because I'm somebody who, if you sign up with me or if you sign up with Filma, I know she's the same way. We become friends with our people because we truly care. We're not signing people up to just get money out of them. So you can run this business and be a genuine, authentic person, which I know that's a big fear for people. They don't want to seem ungenuine or inauthentic. You can do it in an authentic way. It just all depends on you. So what's next? If you are interested in coaching, and if you're interested in pursuing things further, reach out to the coach that invited you today, and we can help you get started on this journey. I know I've been a little bit all over the board, but this is my first call in like maybe a year that I've led. So I do apologize. I just knocked my earbud out. See, I need to get me some AirPods.
I can't even say it either.
It's okay. We're all in this together.
Yeah, exactly. See, meet friends like this.
Exactly. It's being a real human being. And that's the thing about Beachbody. It's not one of these magic pills that you can say, hey, do you want to try this supplement for 30 days and see if you lose weight without doing any exercise, any nutrition work, or any kind of personal development? Are they going to get results? Probably not. Why? Because they're not doing the work. They're not doing the exercise, and they're not focusing on their mental health. And if I'm being honest, the past few months, I've been working more on my mental health than I have been on any of the other things. And as a coach, sometimes you can lose yourself because you're like hustle, hustle, hustle. But it's so important to remember that you are a person and your business comes back to you. So you have to fill up your cup first. So if anybody signs up here, fill up your cup first and fill others. Because you will feel so amazing if you follow the nutrition programs, if you follow a workout program, and if you dive into the community. I can't tell you how many times I see people who join and don't actually dive in the community. But I can tell you, when you dive into the community, because that's what I did my second time around, it changes the game. So show up in your coaches' bod groups. Show up in your Facebook wellness community with your group and see how many people love on you and pour in on you. Whatever. Anyway, see, look, I'm going off again on a tangent that has nothing to do with any of this. Does anybody have any questions or anything for me? I don't know.
I've been going off tangents. Like, I think that was why I was talking for like an hour, 45 minutes.
Girl, I mean, I'm the same thing. We started at 9:00. It's 10:40. I told my husband, I said, look, it's only going to go like an hour.
Yeah.
Here we are almost in 2 hours.
It's almost like 2 hours. But see how much fun it is?
I love it. Like, we shared some deep shit and now we're like hanging out and,
For real. And one thing,
Sammy,
sorry, go ahead.
Sorry. Oh, I was going to see if Sammy had any questions.
Oh yeah, Sammy. Yeah, Dana had to head off. She has to wake up early.
I don't think I have any questions at the moment.
I mean, I know we didn't go into like the too technical of stuff. I didn't want to get all technical today. We just wanted to share stories and kind of, inspire.
Yes.
So
One thing I actually wanted to mention when you said like lose yourself, because there are times where we do lose ourselves, but what's really great about the community and holding each other accountable is like when you start doing your check-ins and when you start going to these events, we have like quarterly events, which we call like super weekends. We have summits which are annual. Like these events kind of help you to refocus and kind of refocus on what your goals are and kind of like put your blinders on per se and kind of remind you as to why you're doing what you do. And that way you're like, when you attend these events and you get on these trips, like Tori, you haven't been on these trips yet. I think you've been to one super weekend.
Yeah, one super weekend sadly is all I've been to. They canceled this last one.
Girl.
I know.
Been
I
to
know.
one super weekend, and that's awesome. That's like a 4-hour event where you're immersed with coaches and just like inspiration and lots of coach stories and trainings and stuff. But you're immersed in that culture, which kind of like helps you to refocus and align yourself back on track. That's what it's done for me. I've been to 4 summits. 4 summits. I've been to a ton of super weekends. I've been to 3 retreats. 3 retreats. And I've also been to like, how many? What else am I missing? Oh, Success Club trips. I've been to 3. But those events like really just make me, they remind me of why I do what I do. I'm like, oh my God, all this freedom and all this reward that you get for making your health a priority in coaching is like, it's the chocolate sauce on top of the ice cream sundae.
Girl, I'm so hoping to be able to go to Summit. Like, I work because, you know, my husband obviously has to work, but you know what? I'm going to make it happen. Even if I have to take my 2 kids to Summit with me, we're going.
Do it. I was thinking, I'm like, because I know Colleen brought Nixon one time. Haley's brought Veda. there's so many kids that have gone to Summit. Basically, I'm like, right, bring a light. Oh shoot, I forgot one last slide. I made you a host. Could you jump
I
in?
made you a host back because I got off on my where I was a host.
That's what I wanted to actually get on. There's one more slide on here. Oops, sorry. Right here. I'm just gonna, okay. Can everyone see that? Okay. So these are just a few.
Wait, it still says loading. It hasn't loaded yet.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it says Filma has started screen sharing and it's just loading. Maybe it's just me. Sammy, can you see it? Oh, there it is.
Okay.
Yeah, it just popped up.
Okay. So this is just a little collage of pictures that I put together real quick, but in the corner where my husband is putting me upside down, that is on the beach of Punta Cana. That's Punta Cana, and there's Punta Cana again. But my husband actually, for Summit, he was on the board. He was on the welcome screen. We were really surprised here.
Aww.
You see him? I circled him. I was like, hey, everyone can see you. So that was really fun. So if you guys ever get to Summit is like the Grammys of coaching. You get to meet your team. There's conferences, there's seminars. You get to go shopping at what we call the core. It's like this massive store where you can get not just Beachbody products and the new things that are coming out, but also clothing. You can get Beachbody gear, and some of them you can only get at that store, which is pretty cool. I've got a ton of leggings from there, which you'll never see them again because they're not selling them. But yeah, you get to hang out with your team. You get to party. You get invited to parties, Success Club parties. It's a ton of fun. And here you can see one of the team calls that we did. You can see we're a huge community. We have a huge umbrella. And there's Tori and one of her coaches at one of the super weekends. Where is that?
That's that's an indie super weekend that was in October. They canceled the January one, but I don't know if you see, but like I have no color in my lips. Guys, if you see in the background, Autumn Calabrese showed up at the super weekend. I did not eat breakfast. I had my Energize, and I just was not like fully prepared for what I was about to be hit with. I threw up like 5 minutes after that photo.
No, you didn't.
I sure did.
The energy is so different when you're working out with all those people, isn't it? Like the music and everything. Like I feel my adrenaline just when you're in that room, right?
It's amazing.
And the last 3 photos down here, these groups, these are all like summit. This is a retreat we went to in Lake Tahoe with Colleen, right there in the middle. And here is in the bottom right corner, that's where we went to Jamaica. We went on a cruise to Jamaica. So I'm telling you, like, travel opportunities. That was like one of my most favorite things when I became a coach. I'm like, yeah, I'm going to hit my goals because I want to get on these free trips. So it's not just you that they're spoiling. They're spoiling the person you come with, your guest, which is awesome. Mind you, when you're staying at a hotel or on a cruise, they give you an extra credit to spend. So they spoil the crap out of you just for hitting your goals. And that's just helping 3 to 5 people a month. And that's not a lot of people, right? So you're thinking 3 to 5 people a month and you get access to all of these opportunities for travel. But I remember when we went to Hard Rock and Punta Cana, which, Tori, you are going to get there. On our next Success Club trip, we're having it in Riviera Maya. But when we went, they give us $750 of hotel credits to spend. Like, amazing. And I believe it was per person. So our company is pretty awesome to do that. Sorry. Okay. So yeah, that's just, kind of like a collage of pictures that we have just to kind of show you, like, it's real, okay, stop share. But yeah. Any other questions or comments? Anything you want to talk about? Oh, I have a question for you, actually, Tori, before we get off, since it's like almost 2 hours. So
Yeah.
I'm going to act like the national wake-up call. What has Beachbody done for you?
Wow, Sister Sue. Beachbody has given me my life back, not once, but twice. Like I said, like, I'm still struggling in this day and age because, I am now presented with different struggles, right? But the thing is, I have the tools once I get my shit figured out to help myself get back. But I have also had the opportunity to financially help out with groceries whenever I can, or pay bills. Like, I'm a stay-at-home mom, and Beachbody has helped me pay the bills for our trash, our internet, and stuff like that, and I buy our groceries. So for me, I have always grown up being somebody who has wanted to help and wanted to be financially independent. Well, although I'm a stay-at-home mom, I haven't really, being financially independent is so hard. So when I was presented this opportunity for the business, I was like, you know what, screw it, I'm going to go all in. And, I had a booming business for the longest time. And then obviously I stopped working my business for a little while after my son, but now my business is picking back up again because I'm putting in the effort, and Beachbody is giving me, I caught up on my bills, guys. I was so behind on my bills. I was probably 3 months behind on my bills. And now that I've started working my business again in the month of end of December, beginning of January, I've already caught back up on my bills. And keep in mind, it all depends on your effort.
Diligence and skill.
Exactly. Insert compensation plan, whatever you call it.
Yeah.
But it's not just about the money. It's about helping people feel better about themselves and changing their lives, because for Filma and I, we have both struggled with depression and anxiety and not wanting to be on this world anymore. And so when we both found this opportunity, it changed things for us, and it changed our perspective on life, because
we found each other.
I know, and I love it. That's how I found Sammy, who's on here. Like, actually, I don't even know how I found Sammy, but
it was like a parent group or something. Somebody had posted how to do like something on Facebook. Yeah.
I had a mom group for the county that I live in that I created back before I did Beachbody. and I thought that Sammy had commented in that, and she was like asking for something like about health and fitness or something, or about getting out of a rut or something. And I messaged her and I was like, hey, I saw that you commented or reposted something in the Brown County Mom group, which it totally was not. It was at the Stay at Home Mom Real Life group. And we connected, and I felt like an idiot because it was totally not even the right group. And then we connected. So that's the thing about coaching, is you connect with all of these people, even accidentally, and you make these friendships. Like, I talk to Sammy several times a week. She gets on Zoom, she hangs out with me, and like, we clean the house. Like today, I like was having a neck issue, and I was like almost falling asleep on Zoom, but she was there hanging out with me, and that's what I love about this. I have the opportunity as a stay-at-home mom to make friends and not be lonely, because stay-at-home mom life is so isolating and it's so lonely that you lose you can lose yourself. And so that's why I'm also so thankful for this business, because in this business, I have made the most genuine friends, whether they're coaches, whether they're customers, or whether they're like, whatever. I've made such genuine friends during this whole journey. Even coaches in the coaching community, like the Energy Collective ran by Colleen, it has been the best thing in the world. And honestly, I don't know where I would be without coaching right now, because without coaching, I'd probably be in the same exact situation and probably wouldn't even have a second kid. Like, I can't even fathom where I would be. And I will tell you, as a coach, you're probably going to have doubters. You're probably going to have people who hate on you, but who cares? You know why? Because every day you're working on a better you, while people are probably sitting on the couch. And yes, I do still sit on my couch sometimes. Okay. A lot of the times, because I'm watching kids. What else am I do? So you know what? I go up and I focus on making myself a better you, because I'm behind the scenes and I'm changing people's lives, and it feels so great as a coach to see people sharing their workouts, even with their kids in the background, or sharing, their, life changes. It is the most rewarding, fulfilling thing that I've ever done, and probably the best thing I could have done for my kids, because I'm a better mother. Anyways, sorry.
And person.
Yes.
Person as
yes.
a whole.
I'm
not just a
more
mom.
than a mom.
I just literally made a post before I came on here. You're not just a mom, you're also a woman.
Word.
All right. Thank you so much, Tori. Thank you so much, Sammy. Thank you for everybody that hopped on this call with us. Any other questions, you just let me or Tori know, and we'll be more than happy to answer them. And we will see you as a coach on our teams. Later, guys. Have an awesome night. Mwah!